Hey guys, so I'm going to finish up this example for those of us that didn't get to it today. So a little application maybe of some of the function operations that we've already dealt with, but just giving them to you in kind of different formats. And let me scooch this up so my face isn't over the graph here. But what we have, I have a function with an equation. I have a function with a table, and I have a function with a graph. So each one of these is different. So f of x is the equation, g of x is the table, sorry for the bell, and h of x is going to be the graph. So we're going to evaluate these using those three different pieces of information. So f of 2 here plus h of 2. So f of 2 means I'm going to plug 2 into my lovely function. So f of 2 is just going to give us negative 2 times 2 plus 5. That'd be negative 4 plus 5, so that's actually just equal to 1. And h of 2, h is the graph, so remember that's the x-coordinate. So I'm going to come over here, find the x-coordinate of 2, and write down the corresponding y-coordinate. So right there, that point is 2, 0, so h of 2 is going to be equal to 0. Add those two lovely numbers together, and my answer to that question would be 1. All right, this one says f divided by g of 8. This is the same thing as f of 8 divided by g of 8. Okay, so f of 8, we're going to use the equation. I should have left myself a little more room here. So f of 8 would be negative 2 times 8 plus 5. That's going to end up being, let's see, negative 16 plus 5 is negative 11, so the top of the fraction would be negative 11. And, excuse me, now, the g of x. Remember, whatever this number is, this is the 8, so g of 8. This is the x value, so you want to find that x value in the table. So when x is 8, the g of x, in that case meaning g of 8, would be negative 14, so that would go in place there. And really, the only other thing you can do is, guess what? Negative divided by negative, just going to cancel out and make that positive. So that'd be 11 over 14. Can't reduce that. All right, the next question says h of 6 times g of 6. So h of 6, I'm back on the graph. Remember, the number in the parentheses, that's going to be your x value, and you want to tell me the corresponding y value. So here's 6. In this problem, I have to come down to meet the graph. That's going to go right through that point on the graph, right where the arrow points. So on the graph, that looks like it's the point, and I'm not on the screen, 6, negative 8. So if x is 6 here, on the graph, the y-coordinate at that point, or the output value, is negative 8. So that's what I want to sub in there. G of 6, come back up, G's the table. So if x is 6, then g of x, or g of 6 in that case, is negative 11. So I have negative 8 times negative 11. Those negatives are going to cancel out. So we're going to get positive 88 when we multiply those together. And the last one is not multiplication. You be careful with that. That's a composition question. That's what we did a couple days ago. So composition is like two problems in one. First thing I need to do is find h of 0. H is the graph. So let me come over here. If my x value is 0, here I need to come down to meet the graph. 0, negative 2. So h of 0 from my graph would be negative 2. Then what we need to do is we're going to sub that in, and to get the answer to my question for the composition here, I'm going to plug in that result. So I need to find f of negative 2. Now, the f of x is our lovely equation over here, so everywhere I see an x, we're just going to have to replace it with the negative 2. If you do that, negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, plus 5 will give us 9. And then the 9, that is going to be our final answer to the question. Whenever you do composition, you're going to have two problems in one. So I need the negative 2 to plug it in. The actual answer to the question is going to be the 9.